Reminisce of a crafter, the last minute sewist. Hashtag the bleeding finger. Just a little here, just a little there, I said, and in a moment of shock, I stitched my finger when I heard the blaring of the car horn from my husband, alerting me that we are running late to the occasion. All this started with a little procrastination here and there. There's still time. I don't have the zeal to sew now. I can make it in the next 2 hours maximum. These are my words to procrastinate until it is the last minute. I really do not know, but anytime I have to sew something, I like doing it at the very last minute to the occasion. I've planned for this occasion for a month. Everything needed to make this dress for the occasion is ready, except the passion of the sewist. I tried cutting the fabric, but I didn't feel like it. So I set the fabric aside and did other things until the last minute. The previous day, Saturday, the day before the occasion, I cut the fabric and stitched the garment. I became tired and left the finishing for the next day. Waking up at 5 a.m. the next day, which is Sunday, to do the finishing on the dress. I can finish this dress before 7 a.m., I said to myself. A little floral embellishment here, one more fitting, and we are done. I nodded to myself. What can possibly go wrong? But the dress is almost complete and I can still wear it as it is without the finishing. Still in my pajamas, I took my sewing machine to the sitting room to start working, since I'll be preparing breakfast and baking some cupcakes at the same time. I don't want to forget that I'm cooking and then burn the food. I set the sewing machine to start stitching, and I decided to do more than I bargained for. You know that about the crafter. The mistake I am in the process of making. As I stitched, the sewing needle got broken. I had to change it, and being in a haste, the box of sewing pins fell on the rug. Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! I have to pick this before my children wake. I have 2 toddlers who I have to be very careful of things around. For my other child, he is older. All he needs is a warning. I sat down to pick the sewing pins using magnets. I picked all the pins. I started looking for the sewing needles. I have used the last one. I remember that I have another sewing machine that may have a needle in it. I took 6 giant strides towards the sewing machine in the craft room. I was in luck. The sewing machine did have a needle in it. I started loosening the knots using a screwdriver to release the sewing needle. I finally got the sewing needle and rushed to the sitting room to continue sewing. Before I could sit properly to sew, my children woke. And it's time for mom's duty. I heard the sizzling sound of the kitchen. The food was burning. I got the children ready and had to get myself ready too. We ate and got the items for the occasion packed. I did my hair and makeup, not forgetting that. It's very important, you know that. I came back to my dress and continued stitching. As my family went to the car, I told them I'll be there in 15 minutes. It will take my husband some minutes to check the car and get our toddlers in their car seat with seat belts in place. As I was sewing, The last stitch before cutting the thread from the sewing machine on the garment, I heard the blaring of the horn and I jolted, looked up and didn't stop stitching or remove my foot from the sewing machine pedal. The next thing I felt was a piece on my finger, and there was blood dripping on the sewing machine. Luckily, the dress wasn't stained. I ran for the first aid kit while applying pressure with my thumb and my forefinger on my right hand over and under the forefinger, which is the bleeding finger of my left hand. I cleaned the blood stain and I put a plaster on my finger and then a bandage over it to keep the pressure. I got dressed in the same gown that I was stitching and headed for the car for the occasion. My family were already seated in the car. I got in and they were surprised to see my finger in bandage. That day, I made a promise to myself never to sew any garment at the last minute. But that promise is yet to be fulfilled. I have become worse than the promise. This same last minute sewing has made me to miss another occasion. I will tell you about it in the next post.